and float or step to the front of your mat. And halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Draw your big toes together, sink down into chair. Fingertips reach up for the ceiling. Inhale, and then exhale, take it back down to the earth. And step it back, high plank to low plank. Up dog. And down dog. Right foot, or left foot comes forward. Warrior one. Yeah, press into the back edge. Pull your belly button into spine. And soften your shoulder blades. Draw your shoulders in and down your back. And open to warrior two. Extend your fingertips. Reach for opposite walls and allow your gaze to go over your front middle finger. Extend your front knee 2 more inches to the wall in front of you. Notice that your knee is still above your ankle. And then take your front palm, turn it over, reverse your warrior. Nice. Extend your hand, reach your fingertips for the wall behind you. Fill up your chest, and then take your hand to the mat, step down, take it down and empty out. Nice. Vinyasa through. And down dog. Beautiful. So draw your feet together at the back of your mat. And lift your right leg straight up to the ceiling. Bend your knee and flex your toes. Pull your toes in towards your knee. And open up your top hip. So square off your shoulders and open your top hip. Draw your heel towards your left glute. Nice. Really open up that top hip. And then when you're ready, go ahead, flip your dog over your left hand. Take it over. The floor will catch you. Yeah, bring your feet about 12 inches apart. Both facing 12 o'clock. And press into your hands to lift your hips higher. Beautiful. Reach for the wall behind you. Look behind you. Nice. And then exhale, take it back into down dog. Beautiful job. All right. So shift forward into high plank. And draw your right hand directly under your right shoulder, the center of your mat. Draw your feet together. And stack your heels. Take it over to your right side. Or, yeah, left side. No, right side. There we go. Side plank. Yeah, so lift your left hand. Confused on my direction. Reach your left hand, fingertips straight up. Extend your fingers. Make them nice and wide. And press into your hand to lift your hips higher. Raise your top leg and draw your pinky toe in towards your top hip. One more round of breath and then take it back down. Nice. High plank. Or, yeah, high plank to low. Go ahead, vinyasa through. Beautiful. Strong yogis is here today. A room full of them. Nice to see. All right, so draw your feet together on the back of the mat and lift your left leg up. Straight up to the ceiling. Bend your knee. Flex your foot and draw your heel over towards your right glute. Yes, really open up that top hip. Reach your heel towards your glute. Beautiful. And then go ahead, flip your dog. Take it over your right hand. Draw your feet together about 12 inches apart. Beautiful. Nice. And press into your hand to get lifted through your hips. And reach your top hand towards the wall behind you. Beautiful. Allow your gaze to follow. Excellent. And take it back into down dog. Nice. And then shift into high plank. And bring your left hand into center. Stack your heels and go into side plank. You can always come down on your bottom knee for modification. And reach your right fingertips up. Spread your fingertips. Create energy. Lift your right leg up parallel to your mat and flex your pinky toe in towards your top hip. Nice. And then take it back into down dog. Beautiful job. Nice work. This is where down dog becomes a resting pose. Get a little micro bend in your elbow. And then lift your hips from your torso drop through to the mat. Your glute moving up. Okay, so from down dog, raise your right leg straight up to the ceiling, square off your hips, and point your toes down towards the earth. So your leg is just parallel to the mat here. So point your toes down towards your mat. Yeah, square off your hips towards the ground below you, and swing your right foot through for crescent lunge. Nice. Take your fingertips up to the ceiling and stack your back heel directly over the ball of your foot. Nice. Y'all know exactly what to do. So your back foot, the heel stacked directly over the ball of the foot, and drop your front knee 2 inches towards the wall in front of you. Reach up through your fingertips. Take your gaze to where the wall meets the ceiling, and then draw your hands together at heart center. Bow forward, and take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Yeah, left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Use your elbow as a tool to open your chest more to the side wall, and press your fingertips together. Take your gaze over your right elbow. So press into the four corners of your front foot, the ball mound of your big toe and little toe, and all the toes in between. Press into your mat. And then release your hands to the mat and come up into Warrior One. He was a little too late. Sorry about that. Come into Warrior One and open into Warrior Two. Nice. Extend your front hand to the wall in front of you. Take it out as far as you can to the wall in front of you. And then drop your right hand to the earth. Extended side angle. Nice. So you can rest your right elbow on your knee for a modification, or take your hand to the block, your shin, or your ankle. Wherever you are, it's enough. So reach your left hand up to the sky. Stack your left hip directly over your right. Beautiful. And then take your hands back to the mat. Step it back and vinyasa through. Nice job. Getting hot in here. All right, so raise your left foot straight up, parallel with your mat. Square off your hips and point your toes straight down to the earth and come through for crescent lunge on the other side. So bring your fingertips right up, take your fingertips up to the ceiling, and take your gaze to follow. Yeah, so stack your back heel directly over the toes and come into your front knee. So you may need to scoot your foot out a little more so that your knee stays directly stacked over your ankle. Nice. Lengthen your spine by lifting the crown of your head towards the ceiling. And then draw your hands together at heart center and bow forward. And take your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. So opposite way. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So press your hands together and take your gaze up over your top elbow. Press into the four corners of your front foot. The big toe ball mound, the pinky toe ball mound, and everything in between. Your heel press through to your mat. And then rise up, Warrior One. Open to Warrior Two. And extend your front hand to the wall in front of you. Come as far as you can to the wall, and then swing your hand down to the mat. Rest your left elbow on your knee. And keep pressing into the knife edge of the back foot. Press into both feet. Spread your mat away from you, away from center with your feet. And then take your hands to the mat. Step it back. And vinyasa. High to low, and up dog to down dog. Bend your knees, look forward, and slow first step to the front of your mat, and halfway lift. Open your chest, big inhale, exhale, forward fold, and big toes come together, sink into your chair. So drop your hips to the mat. The weight, press the weight of your body into your heels. Lift up your toes, spread them out, and then set them back down on the earth. Draw your hands into heart center and take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And use your elbow as a tool to press open your chest, open even more. And look down at your knees. See if your knees are in alignment. If they're not, draw your left hip back. Nice. There you go. And then sink your hips lower. Create possibility here. Yoga starts when you want to stop. So hang in there. Sink it 1 more inch lower. Take your gaze over your front top elbow. Fill up your chest, your big inhale, and on your exhale, release forward fold. Nice. So take your peace fingers to your toes. Spread your feet apart a couple of inches. Take your peace fingers to your big toes and draw your head and chest in towards your thighs. Let your head release. Drop the crown of your head towards the mat. So really bend your knees here so that you can get into this pose. Bend your knees. Rest your belly on your thighs if you need to, just to allow this release to happen. And then release your toes. Draw your big toes back together and sink it back into your chair. Yes, fingertips up to the ceiling, biceps up by your ears, and palms facing each other. Nice. Spread your pinky fingers in towards center. And then hands to heart center, and take your bow to the other side, your twist to the other side, right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Look down, notice your knees, are they in alignment? If not, draw your right hip back. Beautiful, allow the weight to come into your heels. Take your gaze over your right elbow, pull your belly button in and sink it lower. And then release, forward fold. Nice job. All right, so come into gorilla pose. So lift the soles of your feet and place your hands, the palm of your hands, directly underneath your soles of your feet. Bend your knees enough so that you can walk your toes to your wrist crease. So you just lift up your feet and place your palm underneath. Bend your knees and allow your head to drop. Release here. Wiggle your toes on top of your palms and sway side to side, whatever feels good here. And then release your hands. We'll come into crow pose. So draw your feet together, really zip up your toes and your ankles. Come down, take your hands flat onto the mat, spread your fingertips really wide, with middle finger pointing at 12 o'clock. And take your hips up to the ceiling, shift forward, resting your triceps on your shin, and really spread your weight throughout your hands evenly. And if you've already got it, go ahead and hold it for 10 breaths, and then shoot back to chaturanga. And if you're working on it, so you just shift forward, and then play with it. Lift your toes, and take your gaze forward. About 2 inches in front of your mat. And then from there, shift back, rock it back into chaturanga. Take it into chaturanga. And yes, vinyasa through. Nice. All right, bend your knees and floater step to the front of your mat. And rise all the way up, fingertips up to the ceiling, and then draw your hands into heart center. Nice. All right, so we'll come to standing leg raise. So press into the left foot, the four corners of your left foot. With your peace fingers, grab a hold of your right big toe. Would you like a belt? Anybody want a belt for this? So your left leg is your standing leg. So your left leg is your standing leg. Press into the four corners of your left leg and either draw your peace fingers to your right big toe or use your strap, your belt. Yes, and extend your legs straight in front of you. Reach the crown of your head towards the ceiling and draw your shoulder blades in towards your spine. And then open up to the right side. Take your leg straight out and your left hand straight out from your shoulder to the opposite wall. And allow your gaze to slowly follow your left thumb. If you fall out of it, that's okay. Just come back into it. Set your drishti. Keep your breath. And then draw back into center. Release your toe, but keep your leg lifted. And we'll shift into airplane. So hinge your body forward, your torso forward, and take your right leg and reach for the wall behind you. So flex your back foot. Push your heel into the wall. Square up your hips to your mat. And draw your hands behind you. Reach for your shoulder blades in. And open your heart center to the wall in front of you. And then take your fingertips to the mat. Tripod your fingertips and come into half moon. So take your block and take it directly underneath your left shoulder. Place your left hand on your block. And keep your right leg lifted. Press your heel into the wall behind you. And allow your right hand to take it up towards the ceiling. So press through with your right foot. Press your heel through to the back wall. Take your right hand up and look up. Slowly take your gaze up. Yes, it's a little challenging, but if you fall out, just come right back in. Beautiful, nice job. Okay, release to the mat. Nice, and take a forward fold. Good job. Creating strength and balance, nice, and then slowly rise up, take your fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Big inhale, fill up your chest, and empty everything out as you draw your hands to heart center. All right, we'll do it on the other side. So press the four corners of your right foot into the earth and draw your left, that is the right foot, right? I'm not doing the same foot twice. Draw your left peace fingers towards your left big toe and either use the strap or your peace fingers and extend your legs to the wall in front of you. Pull your shoulder blades in and stack your shoulders over your hips. Nice. Go ahead, open out to the side and take your right hand out. So square off your hips. Nice. And allow your gaze to follow your right fingertips. So this is something to have fun with, play with. If you fall out, it's totally okay. Everybody's balance is different every day, each side. And then draw back to center. Keep your leg lifted, release your toes, and then take it back into airplane. So shift your body forward as you take your left leg up. Press your heel, nice. Press your heel into the wall behind you and reach your fingertips, extend, and open your chest. Open your heart center to the wall in front of you, nice. Keep your drishti. Keep your breath. Focus on your breath. And then drop your fingertips to the earth, half moon on the other side. Keep your back leg lifted. Keep pressing your heel into the wall behind you. Flex your toes. And reach, spread your fingertips wide in your left hand and reach up. Nice. Allow your gaze to follow. Beautiful. And then come back down, forward fold. Nice job. And slowly rise up into mountain. Take your fingertips up to the ceiling. And hands together, heart center, forward fold. Exhale. And fill up your chest. Inhale, halfway lift. And take it back. Chaturanga. High to low plank. Y'all are doing great. Good work here. Up dog. And down dog. Big round of breath here. Give me an exhale, open mouth, sigh. Let me hear you. Okay, do it again. Inhale and exhale. Nice, that's much better. All right, so lift your right leg, point your toes to the floor, square off your hips, and pull through for warrior one. the pinky toe side of your foot. So straighten your front leg, but have a nice soft micro bend in the front leg. And twist your torso open. Look up at your top fingertips, and on your exhale, take your back, top shoulder back even more. Open your chest even more. And then power it up into warrior two. Nice. And then drop your hands to your side and turn all 10 toes to this wall. Feet are parallel, both facing 12 o'clock. Take your hands around the small of your back and get really tall. Lift the crown of your head up to the ceiling. And then a small micro back bend. Take your gaze behind you. Support your back with your hands. And then come back to center. Reach your crown of your head towards the ceiling. Create length and forward fold. Nice. So drop your fingertips to the mat and allow the crown of your head to drop towards the earth. Really release here and walk your fingertips back behind you. Drawing your torso in towards your knees. You can have your knees bent. You want a nice soft micro bend. And then draw your hands underneath your shoulders, walk them in front of you. Press into the outer edges of both feet and slowly rise up all the way. And then turn your right foot towards the front wall and step to the front of your mat. All right. Inhale, take your hands up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, chaturanga. High to low. And up dog to down dog. Nice. So bring your left foot forward, warrior one. Rise up. And then open up, warrior two. Straighten your front knee. And extend your left fingertips to the wall in front of you. Really reach, extend as far as you can go, and then take it down. Nice. There you go. So take your hands to your block on the pinky toe side of your foot or your shin or your ankle, and open your top hip. Take your top hip to the wall behind you. And on your exhale, allow your top shoulder to drop back and take your gaze to your top fingertips. And then power it up, warrior two. Drop your hands and turn all 10 toes to the opposite wall. So interlace your fingers behind your back. Extend your arms behind you. Lift up through your sternum, through your spine. Lift up and bow forward. Taking your fingertips up to the ceiling. And let your head and neck release down towards your mat. And then slowly release your hands to your waist. Press into your outside edges of your feet and slowly come up to standing. And take your left foot, turn it towards the front of your mat. Just step forward. Come to the front of your mat. Nice. Big inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, halfway. And set it back, high plank. So here we'll stay in high plank. So allow a nice micro bend in your elbows. Soften your joints. And take your elbows out to the side. Perfect. Nice. And we'll lower down together for the count of 5, drawing your elbows in towards your chest for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. All right, so take your right ear to your mat, hands down by your side for just a moment. I'm going to check the time because I can't see it from recording here. So take a breath. Draw your chin towards your mat together, the back of your mat. On your next inhale, take everything, lift everything up off of the earth. Nice. So point your toes to the back wall behind you. Straighten your legs. And reach your fingertips behind you. Take your gaze down towards your mat. One more inhale. On your inhale, rise up. And then exhale, release down. Nice. Rest your other ear on the mat. And we'll come into belly bow. So now bring your chin back to mat. And bend your knees. Draw your ankles towards your hands. And take a hold of your ankles. Flex your feet. And then on your inhale, rise up. Everything lift up. Press your ankles into your hands. Press your soles of your feet towards the ceiling. Nice. And really open your sternum to the front wall. Keep breathing. Lift. Draw your knees in. And then come on down. Alright, so come up onto all fours, press your hands into the mat, and we'll walk your knees to the front of your mat, and we'll come onto your back for bridge pose. So come onto your back, bend your knees. And draw your heels about 12 inches apart, and then draw your heels in towards your glutes. Press your hands into the mat. On your inhale, press your feet and your hands into your mat to take your hips up to the ceiling. Press, really press into the four corners of your both feet. Point your feet at 12 o'clock. Nice. And press your feet into the earth to take your hips higher. See if you can release your glutes as you press your hips higher and then lower down. Alright, so feel is in your practice. Then go ahead and take your hands behind your shoulders, fingers pointing down towards your torso. So you can either go into wheel or take it back into bridge again. Whatever your choice is. Nice, so draw your feet about 12 inches apart, both at 12 o'clock. Yes, and really press. Press into your hands, press into your feet to lift up higher. If you're in bridge, see if you can release your glutes. And lower down. Nice job. So come into Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring your soles of your feet together, knees. Take your knees out wide. And take one hand onto your heart, one onto your belly. Close your eyes. Take your hands and place them underneath your tailbone and take your feet up to the ceiling. Both legs straight and up towards the ceiling. Flex your toes, draw your toes in towards your knees, straighten your legs, and we'll lower down for 30%. So lower your legs 30%, keep your head resting on your mat, and lower again 30%. Last time, 30%. So you're hovering just above the earth. Take a look at your toes, and click your soles of your feet together for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your legs back up. Nice. We're going to do it again. So here we go. Lower down 30%. 30% more. And last time, just hovering above the earth. Start to click. Here we go. 10, rest your hands gently behind your knee or take them out to your side. Yogi's choice. So draw your shoulder blades in towards your spine and open your chest. Lift your chest up 2 inches. Nice. And here we go. We'll hold both for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Hug in. Nice. All right. So we'll shift into high plank. So take your hands to the mat and just hop your feet back into high plank. And draw your right knee in towards your right elbow, your right toe in towards your left wrist, and come into half pigeon. Nice job. Okay, so straighten your back leg. Rest the top of your foot flat on the mat. Go ahead and take your toes. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Try to hug your fingers to your sides and really get tall here. Lift the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Reach up and then come forward, bow forward, and rest your forehead on your mat or your block. Or you can cross your arms and rest your forehead there. So draw your right hip into center. There, nice. Nice. Right hip in, there you go. And straighten your arms out in front of you. Or just release. Feel this opening in your hip. And then shift into high plank. And we'll take half pigeon on the other side. Nice. Flatten your back foot straight down onto the mat. Take your fingers, lift up through your torso, nice, and then bow forward, keeping the length you created for your spine. And rest your forehead on your mat. Draw your left hip back towards center and mount your heart center towards the mat. And then press your hands underneath your shoulders. Take it into down dog and walk it out. And then bend your knees, lift forward, and either float or step into a seated position. You your legs straight out in front of you for staff pose. So remove any of the meat underneath your sit bones to lift up nice and tall. Flex your toes in towards your knees. And then inhale, take your arms up to the ceiling. Reach up tall. And on your exhale, forward fold with a nice flat back, straight spine. And then exhale and go all the way. Take it over. So make contact wherever you can. It can be your ankles or your shins or your toes, wherever you are. Do that if you don't want to force it. And then release. And take your hands back behind you, fingertips pointing towards your hips. And point your toes, bring your feet together, point your toes, and take it into fish. So press into your hands to take your, tabletop. Come into tabletop. So press into your hands to take your hips up off the earth and drop your head back. So your legs are straight. Well, you can do that modification. I was doing this modification. Legs are straight, toes are pointed, and drop your head back. Either way. And then release down to your mat. Come all the way down to your back for shoulder stand. So draw your knees in towards your forehead and lift your legs straight up to the ceiling. Take your hands and wrap them around your waist and lift up. And so take your hands to support your back. So wrap your hands around your waist here. And take whatever's easier for you. Careful not to turn your head in either direction to protect your neck. And then if you're ready, go ahead, drop it into cloud. So take your toes over your head to the wall behind you. Either making contact with the earth with your toes or just hanging out. And then drop your knees.